Welcome to episode 1 of the Neuro Agent Podcast. It's Courtney Atkinson here, your host, and I have the great privilege of introducing you to my friend, Jesse Topp, realtor extraordinaire. Jesse, what's up, my friend?
Hey, man. Thanks for having me, Court. Happy to be here.
Dude, great privilege. Listen, man, before we get started on all the stuff that this podcast is about, just walk our viewers through the last 6 months of your life, man. It's madness, bro, all the things that you've accomplished.
Yeah, man, it's been wild just to start with the real estate, right? I met you and Mel through Ken and I got my license. I've always wanted to get my license from house flipping and from a development standpoint. And I was like, I just want to get the jump on the deals. And then lo and behold, man, that just opened up the door, like the floodgates, not even a door, man, just like literally the canal opened. I'm super grateful. It's been awesome. It also it just kind of you know how everything that we do in life comes together, right? It's like a house flipping, I'm developing land, I'm investing, I'm private lending. And then to get my realtor license and all working with mortgage brokers, you know, every week, much like yourself, I'm sure, right? It's like on the phone with these guys to find money. And then when I got my license, like, man, it all comes together. Now I have buddies that are like, dude, I've been wanting to buy a house. Can you help me? It's like, fuck yeah, bro. I got your back on this one for sure. Yeah. So that's been good, man. Plus I have a new son at home. That's been he's almost 20 months now. And man, you're a dad, you know, it's like, people are like, it's going to change you. It's like, no, man, not me. Oh yeah. Big time, man. Just completely satisfied, fulfilled, loving life. And then I train, bro. I train just like you, man. You and I met and I was like, I knew right away when we met, I was like, I like this guy. Right? It just you train and there's training. And then I'm not knocking anybody that, you know, 45 minutes a day in the gym, good. But then there's the stuff that you and I do. And it's it's getting down. It's 2-3 hours a day, plus the meal prep, fasted cardio, half an hour forced nap in the afternoon, supplements. It's
but then you got your black belt, bro.
Come on. Yeah. I got my black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Yeah. Just I wasn't busy. So I just decided to go get my black belt.
Yeah, man, that was a 12-year journey. That was phenomenal too. That was it was awesome. It's completely changed me as a person, not just getting the belt. The belt's just I guess the belt's the consequence of doing the work is what they say, right? Just showing up every day. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Lots to be proud of. That's super exciting stuff. And listen, the thing that I was thinking about this entire time, only a person with an ADHD brain could manage all of these things simultaneously and keep all those balls in the air. Because the thing that you didn't mention is that, you know, you've got an investment portfolio. You still have another business that you're running. You've got a lot of other stuff on the go. You flipped a boat, you know, for profit. I don't mean you literally flipped a boat, but some people flip houses. So talk us through, man, when did you learn that you had a different kind of brain? Maybe just walk us through that.
Good question, man. I've suffered addiction for from 15 to 30 something, right? And I talk open about it now because it is what it is. I've been sober. You know, I haven't had a drink in 12 years. And I think a lot of that, you know, I had a lot of time to reflect when I got sober, going to therapy. I do AA. You know, I get connected with guys in men's groups, that kind of thing, where you know, you start to really look deep in yourself, right? Why am I this way? Why do I have that ADHD mindset? Why do I have an obsessive mindset? You know, I used it for all the wrong things. And it took me until my 30s and a bunch of self-work to realize okay, if I can leave the substances out of it and then flip the script basically where this obsessive personality I have and use it for good and not just good financially. It's paid me, I can't even put a number on what it's paid me over the years as far as a monetary value, which that's kind of irrelevant at this point. But what it's given me is just the freedom, man, the freedom to raise my son. I'm home 4 or 5 hours a day, you know, just raising them. I get to train 2 or 3 hours a day, just knowing where okay, I'm obsessive in this area. I know that I need help in these areas. I know I'm strong in these areas. Why am I like this? And I think it's probably partly to do with my upbringing. You know, everybody has stuff that I had a good upbringing, but you know, it's just I got down the wrong path, wrong people. And then with that obsessive behavior, it was just basically making a soup for disaster, right? I can't shut the switch off. I started having people say, you know, you just have a beer. We're going to the wedding. It's man, I have a beer in Ontario. I'm waking up in BC by the end of the month with no money coming out of a blackout. So I don't mess with none of it. Now I obsess about work though, bro. I love it. I love being a realtor. I absolutely love it, man. I'm so grateful that you guys showed me how to do this. Bro, it's incredible, you know?
Yeah, I do. But I mean, you're the kind of guy that when you focus on something, it has your undivided attention, right?
Yeah.
And I want to go back a little bit, man, if it's okay with you, and just talk about this journey through addiction, because it's one of the things that you and I both know about people with
Hmm.
brains like this is that we're three more likely to be incarcerated,
Totally.
addicted, divorced. Like, I mean, the odds are not in our favor, right? And you're living proof of a guy that's turned this around so much. So walk us back to the beginning, man. Like, what kind of behaviors were you exhibiting as a young person, and how did you find yourself down that road?
Man, anytime I look back at it now, so anytime that I've wanted to do something, if I really wanted to do it, I was able to do it, whether it be good or bad,
Yeah.
whether it be going to get another drink, whether it be going to get drugs, whether it be some sort of crime, whether it be just anything that I set my mind to, I just had the ability to make it happen. For 30 years, though, I used it for all the wrong shit.
Yeah.
Just literally like, but I didn't know. Where now it's like, I call it like a gift, man. It's the alcoholism has completely changed the way I look at life, and knowing that, like, some people call it manifestation, some people call it like they'll meditate on it. For me, it's like if I really want to get something done, I just put my head down and do it. But the trick that I found is I have to want it. I either have to convince myself I want it and it's worth it enough,
Mhm.
or there has to be some sort of ROI, return on it. The return has to be significant enough for me to, because you have to sacrifice other things. My
Yeah.
black belt, for example, 12 years, anywhere minimum 2 days a week to usually 4 or 5 days a week,
Yeah.
consistent. Like, and it's jiu-jitsu training, man. It's like, it's hands-on, it's full on. Like, my black belt is two guys attacking me at one time. Like, to do that, it's like you gotta make your mind up. I had to sacrifice other things, right?
Yeah.
I've just learned how to do that. And this, Court, too. It's like it comes at a cost. You'd mentioned, divorces. God forbid, I've never been, God willing, I'll never be divorced. I love my wife. But like, it's hard on relationships. It's
Yeah.
hard on friendships to be that way, right? I'm sure you can attest to that.
Dude, I'm pretty much the only people that can stand to have me as a friend are people like you that know
Same.
what it's like, right? It's too intense otherwise, right?
It's just too much, man. And in our minds, I can't speak for you, but for me, it's like, man, I don't know what I did to that person, why he doesn't like me. But it's just, I'm finding now, just recently, it's like, looking for validation with people. So it's not validation. It's just sometimes my personality is just too much. People are
Yeah.
like, man, that guy's just too much for me. And I'm okay with that. It's who I am. I'm not going to change. Would you change? You're not going to
Well,
change who you are.
I mean, I've
I know
tried, man.
you.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
like, I don't know how you were. Like, when I was younger, for me, I spent so much time masking. I didn't even know that that's what it was called, right? Like, I've
Same.
only recently learned that. But like, you become a master at, fitting in, if you will. And
Yeah.
so to me, that was like maybe the greatest gift, right? Like
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to fit in all these different places. So I could just as easily be a Hell's Angel as I could be a judge. And I can sell houses to Hell's Angels and to judges,
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, it's worked out pretty good. But as I've gotten older, I'm also like, there's just a lot of people that I don't want anything to do with either, because
Yeah.
I got to pretend too much. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
that's why I like our friendship so much, man, because I'm looking at the things that you're doing. And yeah, for sure, I've helped you with real estate, but I mean, you got a whole robust life of cool things going on that I'm like, man,
Thank you.
how's this dude keeping track of
Yeah.
all this shit? Like,
Yeah.
such a baller, like
Thanks.
so many different verticals that you're in, and like crushing in each one of them. And I think the idea that people have around folks with ADHD or whatever is that like just scattered and disorganized, but you've managed to keep like a great deal of order in the different verticals that you're in, man. So can you speak to that at all, bro? Like how you've managed to do that? Because, you know, I don't know if you're like me, but like everything is a possibility. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Like you
Yeah.
got to pick something, right?
Yeah.
And I'm curious, like how you've picked and how you've stayed disciplined in the long term, because you've got a great track record of that.
It's funny you ask me that, man, because I've actually I've put quite a bit of thought into that just by myself. I find I get great clarity in like high bouts of cardio, and I'm sure you'll relate. It's like when I'm like, I like to mountain bike. So when I was mountain biking yesterday morning, it was like an hour and 15 minutes, man. My heart rate's like 150, 160. I'm ripping through trails. It was like incredible. But at the same time, my mind is like thinking about a question like you just asked, it's like, why do I do that? Or like what makes me be able to keep them compartmentalized? I think that's the word,
Yeah.
right? To keep them in the compartment or the silos, like I refer to them.
Yeah.
I have this ability, and I don't mean this to sound arrogant, but I just found that I have this like ability to be able to see something, systemize it, find the right people. And I'm not talking like LinkedIn people. It's like I have these people around me all the time, good people, and I'm able to see stuff in them. Like for instance, I need help. I need another realtor to help me. I have too much going on. So I see this young guy, and he's a property manager, and he does some property management for me. He's a great guy. But inside, I don't really care about the property management. I'm able to see like this guy would be a really good realtor. He's a good salesman. He's very well spoken. He's polite. He's driven. He returns my texts at 6:15 in the morning. He's very well spoken in an email. He knows how to use AI. He's very all these things that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like systemizing what I need. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to ask this guy and I'm going to help him become a realtor, just like you did for me.
Yeah.
And then in the meanwhile, I'm going to bring him in my business, and he's not going to be my number two, but he's going to be a second me for a little while. And then if there's other things that I need to work on, I'm going to go over. It's like scaling, really. It's like I'm going to go over here and work on it. And I've done that in all the businesses. So I own a barbershop too, and I love it. The barbershop's awesome. It's one of my favorites. I just did it because I love getting, and you're the same. I like a nice haircut, and this guy, he's one of my best buddies. But it was the same thing. We needed a barber, so I created the space for him. I had the building. I put up the funds. He cuts hair in there. He's got this great opportunity, and now he runs his own thing. He calls me when there's something that needs dealt with: taxes, bank accounts, non-payments, credit cards not going through, those type of things, equipment, supplies. So I know he's good. I don't have to babysit him. People are strong, right? Just let him do his thing. Then in the gym, I'm a little bit more involved in now because I like it, and it's like I just try to. My wife Sarah really does a good job at the gym. Yeah. Keeping it in that silo. And then realtor, I just explained what I'm doing with the realtor, right? Like I'm shopping right now to bring people on. Yeah. If all that makes sense.
Yeah. I want to relate that back to something, and I'm curious if there's a connection here for you, man. So I have that gift too. And I learned last couple of years that I'm on the spectrum. And one of the things that I've had to do is I think of everything like a puzzle, basically. And I'm always trying to like ask questions and figure out the puzzle so that I can understand it, file it, and use that as a future GPS. That's kind of my reference point. But in doing that so often to try to navigate the world, I've been able to also like systematize a business really well, like just to look around and say, okay, here's a gap. Here's where I need a person. Okay, there's a person. And I think that ability to find people probably comes from like all the high levels of masking so often where I'm like, trying to be like this person or that person. But then when I can be like this person or that person, I really get the authentic version of them. I get to know their real gifts and skills. And I'm like, oh man, like this person can fit over here. Like, does that resonate with you, man?
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Yeah. It's the same thing I was saying. It's like, I think this person would be better here. He can still do his property management, but I think he'd make a great realtor. And I know you do this because you've helped me and I've watched you help others. It's like, I'm creating an opportunity that this person may not ever have in his life. It's like a pillar in life where he may use this or he may not, but if he uses it, it could change the path of his life. And you and I both know if he does well as a realtor at 20 years old, it's going to change the path of his life. It's going to blow his life.
Well, and that's a cool thing about our businesses, man. And I think it's a cool thing about having a brain like yours and being dedicated to whatever it is that you commit to is that as you scale, just think of the number of people that you've brought along for a life-changing ride, the people in your community, to say nothing of like the lives that you impacted through your gym or your barber shop, but now through real estate and now bringing other people into real estate too. You're a guy that's done that, I would say, tons over the years. And that's probably the case for even when you were up to no good, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's true. I still hold some guilt and shame for that, right? It's like, man, I probably changed that guy's life, not for the better, but it's the past. But yeah, it's true, man. It's like, we can either be one of two things, be negative or positive for people. So now it's like, I just don't do it for everybody. This will sound arrogant, but it's like, you have to show me that you want it. Because as you know, man, time is valuable, right? Yeah. It's like, you're very, very good at blocking off your time. So much so when we first met, I was like, man, this guy's got this down, like the time block. Like you were strict by it. Didn't bother me at all, but it's like, I'm going to follow that. It's like, I see you on Instagram, you're training certain days. It's like, if he can do that and he's got as much going on as you have going on, I can do that too. So yeah man, you've been just as motivating for me, Court. Seriously, especially in the fitness stuff, bro. It's like we tell ourselves stories as men. I do anyways. It's like, well, I'm in my 40s. And I don't know where the fuck it came socially acceptable to be like a dad bod. I'm not sure who made that up, but man, that person needs to be just totally annihilated socially because that is not okay. So then what I was getting at was seeing you and you're training hard, man. You're at like a full 8-pack. It's like, dude, this guy's crushing it. How do I do that?
Yeah. Well, dude, I mean, it's like a lot of things, right? It's like you just set your mind to it and, a long time. I mean, shit, how old are you, man?
43. You?
Okay. So yeah, I'm 49, going to be 50 here right away. And like, I've been thinking about this for a long time, but I think what happened for me, man, was like, you just get to a certain level of pain where it's like, okay, I'm going to choose my pain. Is it the pain of getting old and being frustrated by achy joints and getting a little fatter every year? Or am I going to be frustrated by the pain of eating too much protein, more supplements, and going to the gym 3 extra times than I normally would? I'm like, fuck it.
Right?
I'll choose the pain that gives me a six pack. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like my wife thinks I'm hotter now. Like I like that. You know what I mean? Like it
Yeah,
all
man.
works out. And so I think it's like, you're right. People are choosing the wrong pain. And you look around and you see like dudes that are unhealthy and you're like, well, man, you're just choosing the pain of like beer and hangover and depression, pissed off wife, not enough time with your kids with high energy. Like just choose a different pain, man. Dedicate that to like something
Totally.
positive. It's still going to suck either way, but like at least the outcome is better, right?
Totally, man. Totally,
Yeah.
100%. Plus, I find like you use the words ADHD. I don't take any medication. I don't know if you do. Even if I get medication, I'm still this messed up. If a doctor gives me medication, says only take one of these, it's going to help with your focus. I'll take three,
Yeah.
and I'll take six. And I know that I have this issue, so I don't take nothing. I don't
Yeah.
get anything. Where I find exercise, I can dial right in as long
Yeah.
as I have these like bouts of usually hard cardio, and then I'll lift heavy weights 4 or 5 days a week, like heavy, probably more than I should for my age, but whatever. And then I find it dials me in rather than I'm just a scatterbrain and I'm not happy either, right? So
Yeah.
you
Me,
always train, Courtney?
yeah, I trained since I was 13, but I mean, like
Right.
for a lot of people, it was because I got cut from the high school football team and I was just devastated.
Yeah.
And I was like a roly poly kind of fat kid. I thought I was a big shot. I was a big kid, but just too
Mhm.
weak, right?
Yep.
And so, yeah, then I just did exactly what you just said, man. I was like, fuck that. I'm going to win. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I
Yeah.
literally just became the biggest, strongest dude. Like in grade 11, I showed up. I was like a monster. I was killing everybody,
I
broke a
love
guy's
it.
leg in training camp, like broke
Yeah,
all the
man.
records for lifting. I'm like, yeah, man, this is just what you do. Right.
Yeah.
And so I think I've kind of carried that with me, that concept of just trying to slay. But I wanted to highlight something, man, and this is for folks that are listening about different brains, because I've tried giving up medication. I've only been on it for maybe 3 years now. I take Vyvanse like 30 in the morning, 20 in the afternoon. I take a little bit of Prozac for RSD too. That's that rejection sensitive dysphoria, like being a sensitive little bitch. And that takes the edge off that. And I tried coming off of it, man. And what I found is like, I'm not hyperactive. My energy is so low that I really can't get a lot done. And I spend a lot of time thinking.
Hmm.
And and that's not a bad thing, but it's just like I need to be fucking productive. And
Yeah.
so I'm the kind of guy that needs to be on medication. I don't have an addictive personality, as it
Yeah.
turns out. So that's worked really well for me. But dude, I just talked to a friend last week who's been on Vyvanse. He's probably 55. He's been on Vyvanse for, I think, 7 or 8 years. He just went off. He's been off, I think, now for 3 or 4 months. And he's like more productive than he's ever been in his life. He said,
Really?
hey, he's like, hey, man, like, I think what happened was my brain got rewired, like to be
Hmm.
disciplined, productive, focused by being on meds. And now that I'm off,
Hmm.
he has full scope abilities just to crush and to stay on task way more than he
Yeah,
did when
man.
he was medicated. So I think like it's different for everybody, right?
Oh, it is. It is. Like there is a place. Like if you have a non-addictive personality like yourself, then Vyvanse definitely has a place. But for me, and my wife will attest to this because she stays on me. Like, what are you doing with those? What are you doing with those? Right? Like
Yeah.
pills. If she sees stuff around the house, even caffeine, man. Like caffeine pills, I take it before I train. It's like
Yeah.
I just have the personality that I know I can't go down that road. So there's just none of it. But if you're like yourself, it does help some people. I've watched it help numerous amounts of people. But you take it as prescribed. That's the
Yeah.
difference between me. As I wouldn't take. I'm honest enough now in my recovery to be like, I won't take it as prescribed. I'll be doing all the stuff that they tell you not to do with it.
Yeah, I hear you, man. And listen, that's a common thing for people
Yeah.
like us, man. So it's good that you know that. I mean, and the other thing I think is worth saying too, man, is like, I'm just listening to your time horizon. I'm looking at your age now and I'm thinking, holy shit, like, bro, you've accomplished a ton in like a decade. Like,
Thanks, man. Thanks.
it's bonkers, like what you've
Yeah.
done in, say, this decade. So like talk us through the turnaround time, man. Like, so when you decided, okay, like I got to sort out this addiction issue, you don't have to tell parts of the story you don't want to, but I'm just really curious, like how you set on this trajectory so hard and fast, because, we look at what you can accomplish in a year. Most people underestimate what they can accomplish, or overestimate what they say 3 to 5, but then
Yeah.
underestimate what they can do in 10. What
Hmm.
did you think, man? Did you think that you'd be here with this wealth and this lifestyle 10 years later?
No, I just said that to Sarah this morning. We just got a sauna delivered in our backyard, my own personal sauna. And I said to Sarah this morning, she's like, man, that's awesome. I'm like, honestly, 10 years ago, if you would have told me we were not that like a sauna really means much, but it's like, and you bought your G Wagon. Like, would you have thought 10 years ago you'd have a G Wagon? I would have
No.
never thought 10 years ago I'd have my own personal, not infrared, like legit sauna built inside my house. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, I said, you're crazy. No, no way. But what happened, man, was when I messed up until I was 32, I'm 43 now. So I guess I've been telling you 12 years. I'm on my 12th year.
Okay.
What happened though is it did something to me, man. It did something to me. It did a couple things. One, I found spirituality, God, whatever you call it. I found this like higher being where I call it like the fourth dimension. My brother makes fun of me. It's like you're living in another dimension because coming up those 32 years, the parts that were really dark and gray, when I got out of that and like seen the light, and I'm not going to go on a big God tangent. Don't worry. I'm not that heavy into it,
I
but
just want
like,
to hear your story told in your
yeah,
words, bro. I don't
yeah,
care.
dude, I had something change inside me, where it's just like, it just changed me. It just changed how I felt about life, how I
Mhm.
felt about the community, how I felt about other people. It just changed me. Something had happened. I had asked it to happen through
Yeah.
prayer, but I had no choice, right?
Yeah.
I was basically, I had no choice. I had to do what I had to do, and
Yeah.
it worked. The other thing that it did for me though is it created scarcity, and I'm grateful for that because when you almost die, like this is my theory, anyways. When I almost died, meaning I was probably maybe a half a year of using drugs and drinking away from death, like multiple times told by medical, like, dude, you're not going to make this. And I had actually, honestly, I already accepted it. It's like, it is what it is. It's got me. I can't get out of it. You lose all your self dignity and hope. And, there's just shame and guilt and all of the things that go along with it. But
Mhm.
then once I got out of that, by the grace of God, once I got out of that, it created scarcity because it's like, fuck, man, what if I would have died there? I would have missed out on so many things in life. So you say like 10 years, you got all this accomplished. But for me, it's like I got a lot done and I'm proud of that. But it's like, life is short, right? I almost died once. I could happen again. So it's like
Yeah.
every day, it's like, man, I'm spending as much time with my kid as I can. I'm
Yeah.
training every day. I have the gift of walking. I'll walk every single day. I was at a listing appointment today. A guy says, "You want to take a?" We were going out. He's got like 63 acres we're going to sell. He
Yeah.
says, "You want to walk or take the quads?" I'm like, "Man, I'm walking. Let's walk through this." Like, it's
Yeah.
just like looking at life as being, which it could be short. So
Yeah.
I was given the gift of scarcity. That's what I call it. And it's
Yeah,
like,
man.
and because I messed up for so long in my 30s, like I got to make some shit up here because I'm not working till I'm 80. Like I
Dude, I
wanted
love
to
that.
cash out when I was 50. I probably can now, but I'm so addicted to it that I don't think I
Yeah.
will.
Isn't that funny, man? Because when I grew up, my parents were both teachers, and I had a good upbringing. Some rough patches for sure, but uh, I kind of envisioned retiring, man. Like this
Yeah,
idea of hanging up the gloves, like a lot of people do. And now that I'm coming up 50, I'm like, man, I want to be that guy that's just contributing and having fun and
yeah,
doing the shit that he's good at for as long as I'm useful. Like,
yeah,
and the beauty about our work and the kind of things that we do is you can always pivot to something that you'll be useful at in
yeah,
that
man.
age. Like, I'm
Yeah,
doing a lot of coaching and speaking now. In time, that changes, I'm sure. Maybe it's writing. I don't know. But like,
yeah,
I can't imagine not putting in like a 6 or an 8 hour day. Like, what am I going to do? Golf or like,
yeah.
I mean, I really don't know what I would do because I just love talking to people and helping people and making a difference, man. Same as you. Like,
You've changed a lot of people's lives, though. I've watched it in the last. You and I have known each other what 2 or 3 years. I've
yeah,
watched it. I looked at your Facebook groups, man. That closed Facebook group. You have 1,100 people, students in there, dude.
it's
That's. I'll be straight up. I went back. I was like, did that say 1,100? Because you did the post. The post. You're like, welcome all new members, and just like this flood of new members. Like, what the hell? Seriously? I think I was like, when I first joined, it was like 300 and something. Out of those 1,100 people, man, if even half of them take what you say and Melanie says and Ken says and runs with it, you've changed 500 lives. Like
dude.
that's insane.
I want to tell you a quick story about this, and it's one that you've probably heard parts of, but it's one that I want to share. This is episode 1, and I think it's worthwhile. See, the reason that this has happened for me, and the way that I have the great privilege of meeting you as a friend, I was in the Dominican at a beach and I get a DM from this dude who's kind of like a hyper fan of mine. I've never met him,
Yeah.
but he's always commenting on my stuff and saying kind of like crazy things on other coaches' platforms about how terrible they are and how great I am. Like it's really
Yeah.
funny, right? So he sends me a DM and he's like, "Hey man, I see this event in Calgary. How come you're not speaking at it?" And I'm like, "Whatever, brush it off." But finally, I'm like, I ought to respect this dude. And I'm like you, bro. Like, I'm spiritual. I believe in
Yeah.
energy, and I'm like, listen, man, like this has been delivered to you. Like, you have to
Yeah.
respect this. Like, you got to take action now. And so I did. I reached out, got a hold of Ken eventually, was like, hey, I see you got this event. Here's what I think I could contribute. Why don't we have a conversation? So literally, we're flying back to Tuesday. Happens that he's going to be in Calgary from Ontario the Wednesday. We meet, become fast friends in like 45 minutes.
Yeah.
We're speaking on the main stage. And that was probably about the same time that we met.
Yeah, man.
And it's just like, when I look back at my life, and I'm sure that yours is the same, I think, man, like some of the greatest, most significant things that have happened in my life have just been like a millisecond of a yes or a no. Like
Yep.
in that moment on that beach, I was like, fuck it. And I was like,
Yep.
no, don't be that fucking guy. Like
Yep.
this was literally delivered to you by the universe. You must take action. And look, here we
Yeah,
are,
man.
man. It's crazy, right?
Yeah. It's nuts, man. It's nuts. It really is. I believe in the same thing. When someone says something to me, it's like, first I've done that, it's like, no, or I'll like have my ego look at it. But then if you look at it, how you just said, it's like, no, man, this is the universe giving me a gift that I should really need to like have a second look at. And now look what it's come for you. Right.
Yeah. It's kind of a philosophy that I've tried to adopt more. I read this book, man, that I really love by this guy named Michael Singer. And I read it many years ago, probably like 10 years ago. It's called The Untethered Soul.
Mm-hmm.
And it talks a lot about saying yes and not judging, right? Like just being open to possibilities and saying yes to different things. And one of the things that I realized, man, over the course of my life is that I had all this judgment about people, things, and opportunities. Like I was so accustomed to building my own roadmap, my own GPS to get to wherever I am and wherever I'm going, that I had restricted the journey to this next phase of my life to the path that I was set to define, and wasn't really open to these other little deviations that might have made it faster or easier or even different. And it's been one of the things that I've been getting better at, man, is just being like, no, like this person, this thing, that time, this opportunity is not a waste of time. It's something that I'm going to at least explore. Like, it doesn't mean that I got to go deep on it. It doesn't mean that I got to spend the next 5 years of my life with this person, but I'm going to give them the time of day. I'm going to be curious and I'm going to see what happens. And maybe it's something, maybe it's nothing, but I'm not going to say no just because I preconceived judged it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, totally, man. You just explained exactly what I was saying. It's like, but then so on the conversation with Ken or the guy that messaged on Instagram, and then you met Ken, and then he's been a bumper in my life too, dude. It's like I met him and I remember just like you just said, only a different situation. I met him. We were actually going through in vitro to get Meyer at the time. And then there's a whole story to that. And then I said yes to what he was selling. And it changed the course of my life. I tell him this, and he never even acknowledges me when I tell him. He just pretends I don't even say it, right?
Yeah.
We're good buddies, man, and I have utmost respect for him. So it's like, I think I can say that publicly now. It's like, bro, you changed the course of my life. And he'll just look at me like I didn't say it, and then, how he is, like, continue talking. And I'm like, did you just fucking hear what I just said?
No, like he doesn't get hung up on it, man. He just wants
to
do
man. And it has. It's like, I don't even know what I was doing before I met him. I was in other mentorships, and I'm not knocking them. They were all good mentorships. I think it all taught me certain things, different things, right? But Ken and I hit it off. He invited me to his cottage. And my wife, I wasn't going to say anything. I was just hanging out. And then my wife said something about, I have my commercial captain's license. And Ken's eyes, I remember, I'll never forget, he just like, his head spun around. Like, you got your captain's license? I'm like, oh yeah, I boat, man. And then I told him, I said, I got this, at that time it was like 45-foot boat. And then, man, we went on this journey for like a year and a half of him buying this massive yacht and had a blast doing it. And like hanging out with you, I texted you this morning about the training, right? It's like, I like to hang out with people like that, like yourself, like Ken, to see how you operate. And as well as like, I will show you how I operate, because I think that, when you're around people, a friend of mine years ago said, if you're going to be a millionaire, the old saying, like, if you sit at a table with 4 other millionaires, you'll be the 5th, which has come to be true for sure. But if you're hanging out with other people that are doing these wild, crazy things and helping others and making a bunch of money on the way and personal fulfillment, it's going to rub off. It's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, then sorry, I lied, but it's happened for me every single time.
No,
Ken's been a massive role in that for me.
Yeah, it is, man. For those that are listening that are curious about that, I want to speak into it a little bit. And this goes back for me because I've had some great mentorships over the years and some great friendships, but nothing as close as what I've got on the go right now. And the thing that's consistently popped up for me is, and this is going to sound disrespectful and it's not meant to be, but you hang around enough people that have done really well, that have made a lot of money and have an enriched and fulfilling, healthy, happy life. And you can just look at them and be like, well, they're a fucking idiot too. Like their shit's all fucked up. Like, cause we know that we're friends with them, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck couldn't that be the case for me then? It just raises your level of thinking and potential. Like, cause normally like self-judgment, self-doubt, oh, it's not for me, not the right time. or whatever, and be like, fuck that, man. These guys are
Yeah.
doing it. I can do that. No problem.
Yeah,
Right.
totally, man.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. The other thing I was going to say too, you mentioned this thing about millionaires, and, you know, I had a lot of doubt about my ability to make money when I grew up, for sure. Real estate helped with that. But it hasn't been until like the last maybe 5 years that I've been in these circles of people talking in billions. An interesting thing has happened, man. Like 5 years ago, when I first heard somebody drop the B word, I was like, the fuck? Who does this dickhead think they are? Honestly,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then you spend enough time. It's not like I know 100 billionaires, but
Yeah.
I've probably five. And,
Yep.
and I, talk to probably another five that are at least on their way to
Totally.
monster wealth. Who knows, right?
Yeah.
And the thing that you start to realize is that it's just a matter of compounded effort
Totally.
over
Mhm.
time.
Yeah.
And if you're playing with smaller numbers, it's just less likely to happen. The numbers of people or fewer zeros in whatever it is that you're selling.
Yep.
But all you have to do is change one or both of those things, be a little bit more impactful, compound a little bit more quickly, and the shit's available to anybody. Like there's literally unlimited resources out there. It's just a question of like, are you going to be disciplined? Are you going to block your time? Are you going to commit? Or are you going to bitch? Like take your choice.
Yeah.
Right?
Totally, man. It's the best time to be alive. I say that all the time. Like, what a time to be alive. And it's so true. It's like, if you want to get rich, if you want to talk about money, if you want to get rich, people say, wow, you're doing good or whatever. But like you just said, if you're hanging around people that are on their way to their first bill or they're on their way to the upper hundreds of mils, it's like $1 million really isn't that much money. But you're like, that's actually not that much money anymore. Do you know what I mean?
It's totally not, bro. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing that I like to think about sometimes, and I have periodically, like, how much would somebody have to pay you? And I don't want you to say the number, but like, how much would somebody have to pay you to walk away from it all right now? Give up your real estate license, give up your gym, give up everything. Like, that's a big fucking number. It's a way bigger number than most people think. And it's the same for me. I'm like,
huge
A,
number.
I like it so much.
Yeah.
B, I know how much potential there is down the road for it. So if you say to me, I got to give up real estate, I got to give up coaching, and I got to give up my team, I'm like, man, you got to write me a fat check for that because there's tons of potential there over the next 25 years. And I'm going to love every minute of it. Well, that'd be a stretch, but I'm going to love most of the minute, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I don't think I could give up real estate though, man. If I'm being honest with you, dude, I'm in it. I love it. Yeah. I absolutely love it. And it's like, I don't think I could if someone was, man, maybe for the right amount of money I could. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just like picturing myself down in Panama or in Colombia.
Something else interesting. It's just not that, right?
Yeah, true. But I do really like it, man. It was like something, as like growing up, you like see these people and they're developing land. And at the time, being younger, it's like, I'm thinking like, man, how are these guys doing that? They must have so much money and be so rich and like so forward thinking. And now that I'm older, bro, they're just like us. They're just guys like us that got together with the right amount of people, raised some money, developed some land, made a bunch of cash, put it back into the community. It's just like, it's doable for anybody nowadays. Like, you don't have to have a rich uncle. I don't have a rich uncle. You don't have to have it.
Yeah, you got to have a good idea. Helps if you have a track record, but even if not, if you've got a great idea and enough tenacity, you're going to find people to help you execute. There's no question.
Totally. I should rewind because I don't have a rich uncle, but I have an uncle that has been with me and stuck with me through all that stuff. And when I started to get into this real estate stuff, he was one of the first phone calls I got. It's like, you ever need help lending and stuff, you call me. And man, that was like, that really meant something, right? Because he watched me F up my life for years. And then we still do work together. I just want to, I should clarify that. Yeah, he's been a massive part of that.
That's a good story, man. I'll tell you, that's something that's really powerful. In fact, I remember when I was getting into real estate, really worried about it. My first wife wasn't too sure. Other people that I talked to wasn't too sure. But there's this local entrepreneur. I've mentioned this story a bunch of times, and I'll share his name. His name's Mike Marcotte, and he's a restaurateur and a super successful guy. And I had just come to know him. We'd met probably 4 or 5 times, and I was at a party with him, and I said, hey, getting my real estate license, I was working at the university at that time, and he just dead stops me. He's like, holy fuck, man, that'll be amazing for you. And it was just that one person, bro. And in that moment, I was like, I'm a fucking realtor. I can do this. You just need that one person, man. And so I like that for a guy like you or me, or for other people that are listening that have had some success, just be that person for people. Like, if you're the kind of person who a lot of us are, have brains like this, like you can see that potential in people. And a lot of times it's just telling that person like, fuck yeah, I can see that. You can do this.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, totally, man. That's all some people need to hear.
Yeah.
That's all I needed to hear in a few different situations. It's like
Yeah.
another guy that lends to me, same thing, man. He's still super successful. And I remember him being like, bro, you can open your own gym and buy your own building. And I was like, no way, man. Like, no way. He's like, you can do it. You can do it. I'll help you. You can do it. You got what it takes. This was like 8 years ago, 10 years ago, maybe. And
That's
then to this day, it's like, he played a massive role in that. I'm sure like you have, what is his name? Mark?
yeah. Mike Marcotte.
Mark, you'll never forget. I won't say this guy's name on the podcast, but yeah, man, yeah, he's just completely changed the path of where I was headed and made me believe that it could happen.
Yeah, that's incredible. Okay, bro, time for us to wind it up. I got two final questions for you. If you could give one piece of advice around like your best coping strategy or mechanism or tool for staying organized or on point or on task or just in the zone in your life, what is it that you think that you could share that might make an impact for somebody? Just something that's unique to you that you've learned over the years.
Man, it's exercise. And I was like, everyone's going to say that, but it's so fucking true. I don't even know how much more I can say. If you're watching this and you're struggling in your life and business, exercise. It has nothing to do with me owning a gym, black belt, none of that. I've gone through bouts of not exercising, put on a bunch of weight. I'm not as confident. I don't feel as good. I'm disorganized. I'm unhappy. My relationships are suffering. I can't make enough money. Then all of a sudden get back in, and even 45 minutes a day, I can just feel my brain instead of doing this. It's like, let's work. It's time to make things happen. What would normally take me 10 or 12 hours a day, it's like I'm done in 3. I do golf a lot. So I'm done in 3, hang out with Meyer, golf, hang out with Sarah, travel, all these things. For me, number one is exercise. I cannot emphasize enough just how important it is for high performing people to exercise. It has to be priority.
Yeah, bro, this is amazing. Okay, final question. You're a real estate agent. Where are you? If people in your community are listening, if people want to make investments in your community, how do people get a hold of you, bro?
Man, Facebook's my number one thing. Facebook and Instagram. I have LinkedIn. I have a new YouTube channel coming out, a podcast coming out, but basically Facebook, man. If you want to reach out to me, I do all the stuff. I borrow money. I lend money. I'm a realtor. I develop land. I house flip. I buy right now. I'm like looking at maybe developing out west. Like I'm into anything that has to do with real estate. So if you want to talk about it, if you want to list your house locally, or if you're in Ontario and I know you and I know that we vibe and we get along and you're a 3-hour drive, man, I will drive to go and help you list your house. Like hit me up. It's not a problem if I like it. Just be a good person. If you're not a good person, I'm not driving to do it straight up.
Bro, listen, thanks for taking time out of your day to be here, man. Episode 1 of the Neuro Agent Podcast. Bro, real pleasure, man. Thank you so much.
You too. I'll see you in a couple of weeks. I can't wait.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you will.
Cheers. Thanks, Court, for everything, man.